Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Tuesday, the 29th day of August, 2023, Tuesday of the 21st week of the year, the 21st week in Ordinary Time. It is also today in which we celebrate the memorial of the beheading of John the Baptist. A sober day, as well, but a day in which, again, John's commitment to being the forerunner to the Christ, again, unfortunately ends with his beheading, but again, the result of the inadequacies and the failings and the weaknesses of humanity to understand truly what John was all about. So take a look at that for a little bit today. Again, the courtyard that is alongside the former building that housed the first church here at St. Francis, now known as Founder's Hall. The Perini Fountain, which has been cleaned, which is a little bit green a couple of days ago, but now it is fully functional and working and quite lovely this morning. And then alongside of us over here is, again, the preschool. Where is it? There you go. Preschool right over there. And if we look a little bit more, we can even see where there is some new statue of St. Francis here in the Franciscan garden that is being put in place little by little. It's kind of a nice addition. So right over here, behind me, there he is, sitting on a log. As preschool begins to come in and take their place this morning with morning attendance, we get to see the statue over here. So it's a little bit better over here. If you haven't seen it yet, to come by and see it over there. So there he is. And he's with a little lamb, although some people think it's a dog, other people think it's a small wolf, but it's kind of hard to tell which is which. But it's nice that you can kind of sit right next to St. Francis and get pictures and things like that. It's kind of nice. So the readings for today, there is no special first reading for John the Baptist, but there is a special gospel, the gospel that talks about his beheading. But the first reading continues with the second letter to the Thessalonians, in which again, Paul is always very good at trying to sort of deflect any full responsibility for what it is that he's bringing to the people. He brings the people the message, and then it's up to the people to decide what to do with this message. So it's one way, again, of decentralizing the initial proclamation of the gospel. And so Paul basically says, I gave you this message and I didn't expect anything from it. It was given freely. It's given from the heart. It's given because, out of love, that he loves the Thessalonians, the church at Thessalonica, that he, is a part of their lives. And that is kind of an important sort of thing. For anybody to do ministry, it isn't just the unfolding of doctrines or datas or details or whatever it is. Sometimes we think that that's all ministry is passing on information. Ministry is actually passing on love and then growing in love and trying to understand love with others, because again, it is it is the source of all of God's creation, and it is Jesus' greatest commandment, is that we love and continue to love and never stop loving. And so Paul stresses that was a part of the whole point of his mission, was to bring together in love a new way of looking at ourselves as humanity and a new way of looking at God as the one who has created humanity and allows humanity to flourish. In the gospel, again, we have the whole narrative, the account of why it is that John gets beheaded. Thrown into prison because he objects to the fact that Herodias, the wife of Herod's brother, is now Herod's wife, and you shouldn't be doing that for a variety of reasons. Herodias does not like John, and John is a little bit of a nag in telling Herodias how bad she is because she seduced Herod, or she made Herod marry her. But again, it was also Herod's fault and things like that. But Herod kind of likes John, and so he just throws him into prison. But then there is a dance, by the daughter of Herodias, whose name is never really given in Scripture. We come to know her as Salome, but it's never really mentioned. It is out of this dance, which again was provocative or whatever it is for Herod and his own weaknesses and the terrible person that he was in so many ways, the weak person that he was, that she makes the request, and it is through her mother that John's head be brought on a platter, because that is that's the reward for Salome's dance, which again is gruesome. And the fact that the child is put in between all of this and becomes one of the catalysts for Herodias's, anger and vengeance against the Baptists, it's just horrible all around, and it is the sense in which It's not just that John has to decrease so that Jesus may increase, as John says. John was not supposed to decrease by being beheaded and martyred and gotten out of the way like that. But it is the sense, again, in which our own weakness as human beings sometimes obscures the message of the gospel and obscures what it is that God is trying to tell us. Again, to overcome our weaknesses, we need God's help. And to overcome that which gets in the way of understanding who and what God is for us, we need God's help. And it's always be conscious and aware of that. And perhaps also to remind and support each other, at times when we don't seem to be getting the message correct and we don't seem to understand the message and we're not getting the message at all, is to sort of clear away those things that stand in the way so that what it is that God is trying to tell us may offer us life and not death, hope and not despair, the understanding of a future and a destiny that we are worthy of as creations of God. A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace.